This is CNN Breaking News.
All right, this breaking story we're following out of Columbia, Maryland, just outside of Washington, D.C. According to Howard County Fire and EMS, there is an active shooting taking place at the mall in Columbia, a very popular mall. And of course, at this time of day, certainly a place where many families like to go, about 200 stores at that popular mall. It's about 45 minutes or so outside the Washington, D.C. Area, serving many counties, Howard County, Prince George's County, Montgomery County, all there in the Washington, D.C. area. We understand, according to the Twitter account of the Howard County Fire and EMS, an active shooting taking place. Unclear how many people may have been injured, hurt, or involved in this active shooting. And we don't even know how many people, whether it be one alleged gunman or more, involved. All we know, an active shooting taking place at the mall in Columbia, Maryland, in Howard County, just outside Washington, D.C. Of course, we have our own CNN crews on the way to that mall to bring us the latest information. And of course, we continue to reach out to a number of sources in that vicinity. Mike Brooks, our security analyst, is on the phone with us now. Mike, you know that area, given that you once worked in the Washington, D.C. area at Metropolitan Police. What are your sources telling you about what this means, this active shooting, and what kind of details are you able to gather?
Well, then there's not too many details right now. The mall, apparently, Frederica, is on complete lockdown right now. Employees are sheltering in place in their stores as they have probably packed.
Producer who has also arrived on the scene. And so, Mike, give us an idea of what you've been able to see. We have heard from law enforcement in various ways, either from their Twitter account or even reportedly through phone calls as well, that right now they believe that the mall may be secure. But what can you tell us?
Fred, first of all, police just told us minutes ago that there will be a formal briefing at around 1:15. They have very little information here on the scene that they're ready to release now, but they are going to have a briefing again at 1:15. When I arrived around 15 or 20 minutes ago, there was still a good number of SWAT teams and others arriving with lights and sirens on the scenes, getting out of their vehicles and putting on body armor and carrying assault weapons. I talked to one couple, a young couple that were in the mall at the time of the shooting. They say that they were on the upper floors, and they said not far from the shooting. They did not see it, but they said they heard it. They said they heard about six very loud bangs, which the young man, whose first name was Travis, he said he believed the bang to be from a shotgun, but again, he did not see that. People started fleeing. He said he was put into, he hid someplace, hid in a store for an hour. I'm not sure that timeline works out, but I'm sure it seemed like an hour before he was taken from the building. And he was on his way to give the police a statement. Right now, the mall is still surrounded by police.
Okay, Mike, let me just stop you right there, if you don't mind, because I've got KT, who's an employee there at the mall. He can tell us also what he experienced. So, KT, where were you when you heard the shots, or did you hear shots? Tell me of your experience.
Okay, I was in the back of my store working with my other coworker. All of a sudden, see two people just run to the back of our back room, saying somebody's in the mall shooting. So we go out the back door. There, behind our back door is a hallway where deliveries are made, but there's only one exit back there, which is kind of stupid. So some people were going towards the one exit. A lot of other people who didn't know where the exit were just going the other way and just hiding out in rooms. So when we go out, there were people huddled around the end of the bathroom hallway, which is kind of goes out to the food court. And that's where the girl told me, yeah, it was looked like a guy who was either Latino or Middle Eastern. He was wearing khaki pants, and he definitely had a shotgun. She said it was either a shotgun or a rifle. So then that's when I took the picture. That picture was taken right by the Great Cookie, right near the bathrooms. And that's where you can see there's obviously one big hole and then a bunch of little pellets around it. So after that, I went back into the hallway where the deliveries are made, gathered a bunch of people, because of course there were women there with their children, and a lot of people were crying and all that. Got people out through the exit, showed them where that was, and then all of a sudden, one lady, I think, was talking to her husband, and she said that he said that that they had got the guy, so that's why we went back inside. Had she not said that, I just would have stayed outside. So went back inside and just stayed locked in the store with me and some other employees, and we saw the cops just walking around the store, guns out, and that's when we kind of figured, yeah, they must not have gotten this guy. So we were in the store maybe about half hour, 45 minutes, and then that's when we saw the SWAT team, and they said, you know, whoever's in here, you got to go. So that's when they escorted us out.
So KT, so you were in your store, and the picture that we just showed of what appeared to be bullet holes, and there we go, we're looking at it again. This was near the food court when you took this image, if I heard you correctly. But then you said you and others ended up going back to the store. At what point did you or others make a decision to leave the mall, period, and some of you stayed in to...
A lot of professionally trained law enforcement officers, and I'm sure that they're doing their best out there.
You know, we've got our folks here trying to get as much information as possible, and my colleague Jamie Colby apparently spoke to someone at the Ann Taylor store inside that mall who told her that the doors are shut, employees are hiding. They did not hear shots, but were told there was a shooting at another part of the mall. She goes on to report that individual said officers are posted outside. Apparently, a movie theater employee is reporting that the movies that are currently running are running as scheduled, so that people are being allowed into the theater there, but all must show ID and will not be allowed to leave the theater once inside under any circumstances until the police give the all clear. That person also said they did not hear any shots fired. So it's believed that that incident did not happen in or near the theater in that part of the mall. I know that you know the area really well. Give us some idea of the layout there.
Sure. This is a large mall. You have quite a few merchants out there. The theater, in relation to where you just mentioned the Ann Taylor show, well, I know where the theater is at that mall, and it isn't in the area by the Ann Taylor show or store there. But the problem you have, again, is you've got a great contingent of customers out there. Law enforcement is trying to determine who are the bad guys or the bad ladies or what is going on at that mall right now. And so they're porting it off. And the good thing about it is all malls these days, in light of shootings at other malls, have procedures in place to immediately act. So if they're closing down, let's say the theater or individuals are in there, this is part of the mall procedures. They even go through practice in this. So I would have to believe, again, there's a great deal of confusion, but it may very well be under control.
Ted Williams, you're always great to have on board.